what would be some challenges that leaders that kind of know that this is important, what would be some challenges that they face in order to bridge those cultural differences?
So some challenges is, of course, to have, again, the clarity, understand what is actually going on, mapping to understand what are the perspectives that we actually bring in. But I must say one thing that is a challenge as well is the fact that we are so pressured today. We have time restraints, we have maybe sometimes resources are scarce or whatever. And I'm coming in and asking people to take this time to start to reflect on themselves and start to communicate with people around you and to map and really look at these things. And I think you can probably relate to, because many of these skills that we share, they demand some investment. And in short term, yeah, it might be a bit painful because you have to make that time, but long term it pays off. So I'd say some of the challenges is, of course, to have the clarity to understand what are the cultures of, here, what are the perspectives. It's actually probably what we should talk about, because a person like you as well how do I put you in a box? How do I put a label on Florin? Yes, you're Romanian, but you have so much more experience from other nationalities, and that has colored you. So we also, again, have to face another dimension of complexity when it comes to culture. And again, it's actually navigating this and understanding how to make use of it. I think that is the biggest challenge for leaders today.
I can see already how many layers we have in there. I don't even know my culture, actually.
Yeah,
my leader, right? Like if you put it that way, I'm from Romania, but live abroad enough, and maybe in the latest years of my life where I also been a little bit more aware of noticing things around me. Because if I would have been traveling when I was young, maybe I didn't really kind of grasp cultures, but now working and traveling, I don't know actually what culture I have. So I can see how difficult it will be for someone leading a diverse team to kind of make sense of all that. So is this where your models come into place, like, the 𝙤𝙤𝙘𝙀 model?
Yes, it is. It's actually sort of the basis for it sort of developed itself. After that, I, of course, run it through, a research project. So it's been thoroughly researched. But the thing is, it sort of developed itself because there's so many factors that we have to keep in mind. And that's why the 𝙤𝙤𝙘𝙀 is there to help us and gives us a backbone to remember, how important the mindset is. And you drill into that, of course, what exactly do we mean by this mindset? But it's a mindset that is turning itself both inwards and outwards. We have to understand ourselves, because as you say, what is my culture? That is really interesting to even just understand what is our identity? What are my preferred values and behaviors? What are my expectations on, for instance, leadership style or decision-making style, or how do we solve problems? What are my expectations? And perhaps you've been in so many different environments that you have a preference, and you see the advantages with that. So this is something to harness in an organization, really, that these different perspectives are there.